Good morning, legends. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the first beautiful green candle on the weekly in quite some time. And it happened right on the bearish moon phase as it just started. So is this the pump into before we dump out of, or is this the beginning of a new uptrend? We're going to break down the price action in this video today. We're going to look at higher timeframes and lower timeframes. I'm going to show you a very important thing that you should look at in the charts that would have given you a hint of what was going to happen last night. And we're going to talk about how wicks in candles give you a hint of where price is headed next. So if you are returning here, welcome back. If you're brand new, welcome. Shout out to all the TTC tribe in the Discord. Happy first of the month for everybody who has been waiting to get in the Discord. Now is the time. At the start of the month is the best time to start because you get full advantage of your membership, and all of the previous lessons are all recorded and uploaded so you can start from scratch and go through those in your own time to learn my exact trading method. Now, just to be clear, my Discord is only on month 2 today. We started in April. So if you join anytime soon, you're not that far behind the rest of the community. It does take a very long time to learn the market maker method in full, as well as heat maps, as well as astrology and all that sort of stuff. So as I tell everyone in the Discord, this is not a trading strategy, it's an apprenticeship. And the sooner you start your apprenticeship, the sooner you'll achieve results. So let's get into this video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, you know the deal, leave comments, all that thing. Let's have more comments that are real than comments that are from spammers. That would be ideal. Let's talk about this. So some people call this a W formation on the higher time frames. You could say it is because this is a higher low with a hammer compared to this one. I, as you know, on this channel for weeks have been calling it a volume trapping formation. Both lead to the same result, so it doesn't matter. It's just semantics. Who cares? Moral of the story is we finally got that breakout. Weekly is finally giving us a green candle. However, what we need to pay more attention to, in my opinion, is the time frame that the formation is forming on, and that is the 4 hour. So zooming into the 4 hour, you can see very clearly here, this was the formation, peak formation low, sideways for a long period of time, being a couple of weeks, and then we finally get the breakout above the 50 EMA. Now we are struggling at the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. We expect it to make a run from that, but in order for this formation to be considered complete and for us to think that we're going to have a higher time frame uptrend, what we need now is for price to stay above the 50 EMA on the 4 hour time frame. So we are moving sideways right now. That's okay. We may pull back, or we may just continue sideways whilst the 50 EMA catches up. Whichever one it is irrelevant. Who cares? Point being, we don't want to see it come back and completely fail. And we do have some warnings that that is still a possibility at this point in time. So we're going to talk about that as well. And really, this formation really now does depend on us creating a higher low or just consolidating until the 50 EMA catches up and we start to see wicks testing the 50 EMA, but staying above. If we break that 50 EMA, that's at the point where we have to reassess how much leverage has been taken out, and does the market maker want to send prices lower, or have they collected enough and ready to go higher again? So even if we break the 50 EMA, doesn't mean that this is all over. It just means we need to reassess at that point in time. The other thing too is it's now Wednesday, so from today onwards we need to start looking out for midweek reversals. Now we know we have news events tomorrow, not today. This is Melbourne time, again, just a reminder, because I'm in Melbourne, so you have to convert this to your own time. You can do that on the forexfactory.com calendar by going up to this time here, and then you can convert it to your own time, just in case you didn't know. But Melbourne time, 12 a.m. So that's actually out tonight at midnight. We have these job openings reports, and then tomorrow night we have the non-farm employment change. So either of these two events could lead to the midweek reversal, and it could mean that we do nothing but go sideways until then. So need to look out for that. Now that we know what's going on a higher time frame, let's go to the 15 minute, because something happened last night that I kind of had a feeling was going to happen. And turns out it did happen in our sleep. So on the 15-minute time frame, we had this push up initially. Then we had this second one, which came with a very big stop hunt. Now, at this point in time, because we started ranging sideways, so this is the boardroom here where nothing happens. And usually we expect that over an Asian session, but it spilled over into the UK session as well. And it was at this point in time where we were questioning in the Discord, do you think we're going to break up or do you think we're going to break down? What I explained to everyone in there is that when we're in the boardroom, the idea is for the market maker to induce traders to take a position, right? And how do we know which way the market maker is trying to induce us to take a position? By the wicks. So the problem that we had last night was usually you can kind of start to see that in the Asian session. But other than this one wick here, we had no wicks to the upside for the entire Asia session. And we did have a couple of wicks to the downside. Now, the way you read the wicks in the candlesticks is when the wicks are breaking a support level or breaking a resistance level, as retail knows it to be, support and resistance, at the time that that candle prints, in order for it to close a wick, at some point in that candle structure, it looks like a huge red candle, right? It looks like this in comparison because it has to go red and be full-bodied all the way to the bottom of the wick before it turns around and goes back up. Now, the goal of that is to induce breakout traders to take a position. So this is why when we're in consolidation, we must investigate the wicks. Because we had a big push up and then we went into consolidation, a lot of people were automatically thinking we're going to get our pullback soon and go into the 30Ks. But here's the problem. With the wicks only to the downside, that shows that the market maker was trying to induce shorts. And then look what they did here. They're collecting contracts in a boardroom. That's what you have to remember. When price goes sideways, the market maker is accumulating. And your job is to assess what they're doing here and who they're trying to trap. So these wicks here trapped people into opening short positions. Their stop loss would have been just above the range. And then look, they came in for this wick right here. And this wick would have stopped out everyone who went short here. So then they send price back the other way, and these wicks here stopped out the long traders. So that's how the market maker collects contracts in the boardroom. They induce you to take a position, box ticked with these wicks, then they issue a stop hunt to take you out, and then they move the market in the direction that they wanted. And I actually had a feeling that this was going to happen, and I ended up posting this in the Discord. This was yesterday at 8:44 p.m. I have a feeling the market maker is going to go up before down, just because everyone will literally be waiting for a pullback right now to retest 30K. So why would they give that to us? I can see wicks bottom of candles, but not really the tops. Have they been inducing shorts all day? And it turns out that's exactly what they did. The other reason that I thought we may possibly go up before down is because back to the 4 hour where I said this formation is forming, it was very clear to me that these two candles here was the first hit to the upside. Now, a hit to the upside is different to a rise level 1, 2, and 3, right? So this is just one hit to the upside of rise level 1 potentially at this point in time. And then this here was 2. We hadn't had a 3 yet. Now, 3 can come with an extension, meaning it increases price, or it can come and just keep price sideways. This blue one here may have been that third extension of the rise level 1. If it turns out that way, then it gives weight to our feeling that we may either pull back or go sideways before there's a higher time frame rise level 2. Again, going back to, we must stay above the 50 in order for all of this to be a possibility. And we do have a news event tomorrow that may take this out, so we have to be careful. But so far, this is shaping up to be the perfect play on the 4 hour time frame, pending a retest. So let's assess what is happening now, because we do have the US session close. I'm filming this in the dead gap zone, so you don't really pay all that much attention to what happens in a dead gap zone. And we need to see what Asia does when they open. The question we have to ask ourselves now is, has the market maker collected enough liquidity to send price now back the other way? So let's have a look at high block, and we can see here today that the delta is at 16 billion to to the long. So $16 billion worth of longs are currently at risk of being liquidated. But the question then is, how far down does the market maker need to bring price? Like, do they need to bring price all the way back into the 20s to collect all of that? Or is there enough to collect closer to where price is now? Because what we know about retail is that retail opens positions too late. And this chart shows exactly that. So the circles represent how much money is in that section, right? So the bigger the circles get, the more money is locked up. And I have done a full video explaining high block. I'll link it up here somewhere on this video if you want to check it out. But you should get a good understanding of how to use high block. But the moral of the story is for this video that the bigger the circles, the more money is locked up. So as price was moving up, these circles are small. There's not a huge amount that's trapped there. You can see there it says 10.54 million. If I scroll over the bigger ones, it's 75 million. But then as we go to the next candle that went higher, more money is getting locked up. We've now got 118 million because the circles get bigger. This was the third candle that moved to the upside. And look, now it's 187 million in these bigger circles. So if the market maker does want Bitcoin to start trending up now on a higher time frame, they may only need to come back and collect this section here. And they may let these people make some money. Like, that would be nice, because I'm this person down here at 27. So I hope the market maker doesn't come for mine. But anyway, that's besides the point. They may only need to come down here is the actual point. And so that is looking at around 30,100. And you can see that on these big spikes out here as well. It doesn't mean they're going to come all the way down to 30,100. You can see the levels there. 30,007 will take out the 50x longs. 31,000 will take out the 100x longs. And then there's also this one here. 30,420 would take out 25x longs as well. So 30,420 is this dotted line here. So that would come back to retest around the previous high before we broke out, and it would recover all of these market maker candles down here as well. There was also another level at around I think it was 30,700. So if the market maker decides that they do want to bring price down, or we get the midweek reversal tomorrow, it may not be a midweek reversal that leads to low 20s for Bitcoin. It may be a midweek reversal that leads to a higher time frame, higher low, which is, if you didn't get the breakout of the trapping volume formation, it's the perfect entry. So what we really need to see moving forward is we actually want a midweek reversal, and we actually want it to hold at the previous weekly high around this 37 zone. If they do come all the way down there, it's because they're recovering this candle right here. But because we've got this volume profile here, you'd aim for an entry a bit higher, because it's going to be hard to get an entry in this area, because this is where everybody is willing to transact. So let's just say we want to see the market maker hold. At worst case scenario, we want to see the market maker hold price above 30,700 to believe that we are at the beginning of a higher time frame uptrend, at least for the short term. And if we fail that level, we need to reassess. But for those of you that are day traders, you now have your rise level 1, 2, and 3. So on the 15-minute time frame, your formation is complete, and you're now looking for an M pattern. This may be it. However, caution that we are in the dead gap zone. I don't personally mind trading the dead gap zone. If I see the right formation and it's in the right point of the model, I'll take the trade. So it could be that the M formation forms now, or you may decide to wait for the Asia session to set the high and the low of the day and make your decision from there. But going back to the wicks that we talked about, the wicks paint in the direction that the market maker is planning to send price. Wicks below pushing price up, the market maker planned to send it up. Now we kind of have the opposite happening. This candle hasn't closed, so anything could happen. But look, the wicks have now turned to the upside here, and it looks like they're starting to turn up here. So that means these wicks are painting down. So do we have the start of a directional change where the wicks went from the bottom pushing price up to now the top pushing price down. That's what I'd be watching out for today. Again, midweek reversal, so our retracement may come anytime from today, so you need to look out for that. If you're enjoying this, now is the time to like, subscribe, turn the bell notification on, leave a comment, and also be sure to check out the Discord link in the description of this video and come join us to learn how to trade like this in detail. Now, both the S&P and the Nasdaq is looking good. The S&P has come back to retest this previous high and flip it. So that's actually positive if it holds here. Nasdaq has done the same. So if these continue up now for the next day, Bitcoin may just go sideways or it may follow and go up even more. I would be favoring more sideways to nothing just until the news event, and then the US may bring us some volatility then. But so far, this is looking good. We want to see these continue up. Don't mind a retracement because it's going to help us get our Bitcoin entry, but we don't want these to completely fail. So pending the news event, midnight tonight and also 10:30 p.m. tomorrow for Melbourne, everything is looking good and the news event may just be our pullback. It is worth, if you're a day trader, in my opinion, it is worth finding that information to open a short position just in case we don't get that higher low and we do get a full reversal, because we really are on knife's edge right now, especially with the 4-hour right at the 200 EMA. So this still has a chance of completely falling over. And that's why I would try to find a short position on the 15-minute time frame just in case. At the end of the day, it's going to be a great trade if we come back to retest and you can get out and flip it into a long position if we hold there. If we don't hold there, you're already short, so what do you care? Now, failing sideways or a pullback, there is one other thing that could happen, which I'm skeptical may actually happen, because the market maker tends to be shifting quite fast, and that is a straightaway trade. Now, I have covered a straightaway trade on this channel before. I will try to find the video and link it for you, but considering we have a news event at midnight and then 10 hours later we have another one, that's what's made me skeptical that we may get a straightaway, which is a fast move out of the level 1 consolidation. So we've already had level 1 on the 4-hour time frame. This is the consolidation. We may get a fast move out that is designed to not give you enough time to get an entry. That's what it means. It moves straight away. That's why it's called straight away trade. And I would be skeptical of getting that around the first news event and then getting the pullback at the second news event. So the problem with straightaway trades is it's very hard to get an entry. You can't really see them coming. They just come whenever. So if you're already long, don't freak yourself out of your long. Just make sure you have your stop. You should be able to have your stop at break even by now at the very least, or even protecting some profit. But if one of those news events leads to a straightaway trade, it's going to really be great for your long positions. It is a chance trade, so I can't tell you how to get into it if it happens. All right, so I did give a lot of options in this video, so I'm just going to do a final quick breakdown. Number one, if you're already in an open long position, have your stops either back at break even, or if you are well and truly enough in profit, protecting some of that profit if you want to hold on to this trade for now. Keep an eye out for a potential straightaway trade, probably somewhere around the US session. If you are looking for a trade, you want to try to identify an M formation anytime between today and tomorrow on the 15-minute time frame to grab yourself a short position for the potential pullback that could, at this point in time, still have the chance of turning into a bigger downtrend rather than just a pullback. If you don't find an M formation, there is no short, because if you don't get that M formation, then the straightaway may be coming and you just need to exercise patience and wait a little bit longer. Wait for the Asia session to set the high and the low of the day on the 15-minute time frame, then start looking for M's or W's to see which way price might break out of that consolidation, and be very careful of the news events coming in the next 24 hours. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Have the most amazing day. It is super rainy in Melbourne and I need to head out, so that's going to be fun. I will check in with you guys tomorrow.